Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking this video. My name is Susan. In today's tutorial, we'll be creating a bustier pattern. It is a requested video from a subscriber. Thank you so much for requesting this video. So I have my basic bodies here, both front and back. If you don't know how to draft it, I'm going to leave the link down in the description box below. These basic bodies is stopping at the waist, so the first thing we're going to do is to extend it to the hip line, both front and back. I'll be starting from the front. The hip line from the waist is usually between 8 and 9 inches. So for this measurement, I'll be using 8¼ So from this waistline here, I'll just mark 8¼ down. Okay, all right, then I'll come here. My body is extended down by 1 cm. So you ignore the down 1 cm, so you start from the actual line, which is this upper one. But if you don't have the extension, the 1 cm extension down, just start from the waistline. So I'm going to mark 8¼ then I'm going to connect the dot, square a line. All right, then on the line I'm going to take the hip measurement. The hip I'm working with is 39 inches, so I'm going to divide by 4 because this is a bustier, so I don't need to add any ease, so I'm taking the exact measurement. All right, then I'm going to connect it now to the waistline. Okay, so if you use my body's method, you know we have ease here on the body, so I'm going to remove part of the ease. So what I'm going to do now, this side front, I'll mark 3/8, which is 1 cm, like so. I'm going to reduce it, but if you don't have ease on your body's pattern, there's no need to remove it. So I'm going to connect it to the waistline. Also, there is ease here, so I'll mark a point inward, so it will be close fitting. Then I'm going to reshape it with my pattern master, like so. All right, then I'm going to connect it now to the hip line. All right, so the next thing now is I want to extend these dart legs. Okay, so I'm going to extend it down by 5 inches, which is about 13 cm. So from this center line, I'll just mark 5 inches downward, put a dot there. All right, then I'm going to use my ruler to extend the center line down. Okay, then I'm going to connect the dart legs to it. The next thing I want to do now is to draw the bust circle. It's going to serve as a guide. So the bust circle, I'm going to use the bust radius, and the measurement is from the bust point to the under bust, which is about 3 inches. So I'm going to mark it around the bust point, then I'll connect it together. The next thing is to double the shoulder dart. So I'm going to measure the value I have here on this shoulder dart. Here I have 2 inches and 3/4. So I'm going to retake it now on this shoulder measurement. From here, I'm going to mark 2 inches and 3/4. Sorry, put a dot there. Then I'm going to connect it to the bust point. Depends on how low or how high I want the bustier to be. On the dart leg above this bust circle, I'm going to come up by 1/2 inch. I can come up to 1 inch, it depends. So I'm using 1/2 inch because I don't want it to be too high. Okay, I'll mark it on this leg. Then on the other leg also, I'm going to come up again by 1/2 inch. Okay, so now the next thing, now I want to tighten the upper part really well. So what I'm going to do now is this space up here, this space here, I'm going to divide it by 3. I'll measure it, then divide the measurement by 3. Okay, like here now I have 3 inches and 0.3, 3/8. All right, so I'm going to divide by 3, so I have 1 inch and a point. So from this mark now that I have here, I'm going to mark 1 inch and a point, like so. All right, then from there I'm going to square I'm going to connect the dot to this bust point. I'm going to connect it like so. All right, then I'm going to measure it. I'm going to take the length, measure it like so. Okay, this is almost 4. Then I'll make sure I have the same measurement on this dark leg also, just to match it up. Okay, here it is. So this new dot will be what we use to create our curve. All right, so the next thing now, I'll come to this side of the front. I'm going to come down by 3/8 of an inch. That's a 1 cm. Just come down. Okay, then from that point I'm going to go in about, because I want to connect a curve, I'm going to go in about 1 inch. All right, then from this 1 inch now I'm going to connect a curve like this to the 1 inch. Then from the 1 inch I'm going to use my ruler, the curve part. I'm going to connect in a curve to the point like so. I'm going to use the curve part now to smoothen this 1 inch, just to connect in a slight curve. All right, like so. All right, moving to the center front. It depends on how deep you want the neckline to be, but here what I will just do is just to come up from this bust level, this level. I'll just come up by half an inch up. Depends on, you can make it higher or lower. So I'm going to connect now from here to here. All right, so the next thing now is to shape the bottom. You can actually leave it this way, but I want a curve at the bottom. So what I'll do is just to come to this side of the front, come up by 2.5 inch. Can make it high. I can create whatever you want. Can be creative about this. So 2.5. Then I'm going to connect in a slight curve to the center front. Okay, then I'm going to extend this dart leg. Just extend it straight down to the hem. The next thing now is to tighten the underbust around this area. So I'll need the underbust measurement. So the underbust measurement I'm working with is 30 inches, and I'm going to divide 30 by 2. So I'll have 15. So after that, I'm going to take my back bodice now. I'm going to measure the bust point line. I'm going to get a guideline. So from this armhole here, I'm going to measure it down to the bust, under bust line, sorry. I have a point after 4. That's 4.1 inch. So from here also, I'm going to mark the 4.1 inch. I'm going to mark it down like so. I want to create a guideline. All right, then I'm going to connect the dots together. Okay, so now I'm going to measure on the line. I'm not going to measure the dart. I'm going to exclude the dart. So I'll just measure the space that I have here. From here, measure, then I'll shift, measure. Okay, then I'm going to take the front block, I'm going to measure from here. Okay, so total I have 17/4, that's 17/4, and the underbust divided by 2 I have 15. So I'm going to minus 15 from 17/4. If I minus 15 from 17/4, I have 2.25. So I'm going to remove ease. So I'm going to use half inch as ease from the 2.25. So I have 1.75. So I'm going to divide the 1.75 by 2. So if I divide it by 2, I have 7/8 each. That's a 0.1 inch, which I'm going to take on each side of the dart leg. I'm going to take 7/8 on each side of this dart leg at the underbust. All right, okay, so I'm going to connect these dots now. I'm going to connect it to the dart at the waist. Just connect it down like so. I'm going to do the same thing here. Alright, so now I'm going to use the curvy part of the ruler to connect it to the bust point. Alright, I'm going to do the same to the other side also. Alright, so at this point we can cut out the front. Don't forget to label after cutting. Moving to the back, the first thing I'm going to do is to extend the waist to the hip. So I'm going to input the waist to hip measurement, which is 8¼ put a dot like so, come here, I'm going to do the same, then I'm going to connect the point, connect it together. Alright, then I'm going to measure my hip. I'm going to input the hip measurement. The hip I'm working with is 39 inches, so I'll divide by 4. I'll add like so, then I'll connect it to the waist. Okay, all right, then just like I did to the front, I'm going to remove the ease that I added when I was drafting the basic bodies. Like I said earlier, if you don't have ease on your bodies, there's no need for this. So I'm going to mark 3/8 of an inch, which is 1 cm. Just mark it inward like so. Okay, then I'm going to mark a point, just 1 point here at the waist. I'm going to reshape this part so it will be close fitting. All right, then I'm going to now connect it back to the hip line. Moving to the dart, I'm going to extend it by 5 inches downward. So from this center line, I'm going to mark 5 inches downward, put a dot. I'm going to extend the line to the dot. All right, then I'm going to connect the other legs also to the dot. This center back dart, okay, I'm going to be extending it straight to the hip line like so. This is to ensure that the zipper will not budge. All right, then afterward, this one also, this dart, I'll extend it to the hem. Okay, so the next thing, I'm moving to the side. I'll come down by 3/8 of an inch, which is about 1 cm. This is the side back. Then to the center back, it depends on how low you want it, but I'll just use 1 inch just to be modest. So 1 inch. Then I'm going to use my ruler, the curvy part. I'm going to connect it from the center back to the side back like so. The next thing now is to shape this bottom. So at the side back, I'm going to come up by 2½ inch, just like the same way we did to the front. So I'm going to connect it in a curve to the center back. All right, like so. Okay, and we're done. So the next thing is to cut it out. Please don't forget to label side, back, and center back. And here it is. All you just need to do now is just to place it on another fresh paper, then add your necessary seam allowances. Don't forget to add your zipper allowance also. Then this center front, you can decide you want to join it there or you want to place it on fold. If you want to place it on fold, don't forget to put the unfold symbol. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and also hit notification bell so as to get notified when I upload new videos. Till I come your way again, bye for now.